This is going to be good. He's the Queensland farmer who's trading cattle for chapters. When Luke Bateman couldn't find anyone who shared his passion for heart-wrenching romance novels, he turned to TikTok and he struck gold.
Love books my entire life. Love fantasy. Fantasy is my main go-to. Love of all things fantasy. I've never really had anywhere to talk about it or share those things because obviously being a male in a lot of blue-collar work and from the country, not a lot of emotional depth in the men around me. Not many readers.
The so-called BookTok community couldn't get enough. This humble farmer with a heart for fantasy and feels racked up millions of views and over 136,000 followers within just a couple of days.
Wow. And now Luke's story is turning the page in a big way. He's just landed a major book deal for his debut fantasy series. Who knew romance novels and rural life could provide the perfect plot twist? And BookTok sensation Luke Bateman joins us live from Queensland. G'day, Luke.
Hey, Larry and Kylie, how's it going?
Hello, mate.
Great. Where do we find you this morning? It looks like you're in the cabin of a tractor.
Yeah, I'm just at work this morning, about an hour and a half northwest of Injern.
So you've just pulled the tractor over and you're just going to have a bit of a chat to us. So here's the thing. Just last month, you posted that first video on TikTok from the farm. Just last month. The world went bonkers for you. What have you thought of this response?
Oh, it's been really overwhelming, but it's been fantastic. I just wanted 5 or 10 people to talk fantasy books with, and now I have, 170-odd thousand, so it's probably a few more than I expected, but it's been really joyful for me.
Yeah, how good. What sort of messages are you getting in your DMs these days?
Look, there's a couple of rogue ones, but for the most part, truly, everyone that's reached out have been book lovers who just really enjoy stories and really enjoy their reading, and they want to just discuss those books with me and share their own stories about them and their own sort of experiences with them.
What about your mates?
Yeah.
Have you inspired them to show off this, softer, more creative side? Because it's a gorgeous side.
I actually had one of my mates message me just the other day, and he said to me, he goes, I keep watching your TikTok videos and I'm honestly going to have to start reading books, I think. And I was like, that is literally like exactly what I want from this. So yeah, that was awesome. So hopefully a few more sort of follow on him.
I'm tipping there's a couple of things that your mate said to you at the pub that you can't repeat on Brekkie Telly, yeah? There's been a few who probably don't read and write so well, who are a bit mystified by it, I suppose.
I love it. What are your favourite things to read? What recommendations are the BookTok community giving you?
Well, I personally read mainly high fantasy, which is sort of like your Lord of the Rings or your Raymond E. Feist, Robin Hobb, those kinds of books for people who know those authors. But a lot of the BookTok community is dominated by the females' gender, and they obviously really like their spice, or their smut, I suppose is what it's called.
Yeah.
So a lot of the recommendations I'm getting through are books in the romantasy and the romance sort of genres.
Is that why your first book is called If This Tractor's Rockin', Don't Bother Knockin'? Is that what you're calling it?
I'll have to run it past my publisher.
Yeah. So listen, on that exciting news, you got this new book deal just been announced. Talk us through that.
Yeah, well, I just signed a 2-book deal with Atria and Simon Schuster Australia. It's really fulfilling for me, actually. When I talk about it, I choke up a little bit, but I've wanted to write books my entire life, and I've had this story. This story is kind of my story. It's been with me for like the last 10 years, and this story has grown and changed as I've grown and changed, and it's really sort of come together in my head over the past probably 12 to 24 months. And I started writing it just as a passion project about 6 months ago, and and then when everything sort of started taking off with the BookTok, I reached out to a publisher and just said, look, I really, this is my idea, this is what I've already written. I really want to write this book and share it with everyone, and they really liked the idea, and it just went from there. It's truly been a childhood dream, like becoming fulfilled for me. So it's incredible.
So amazing. Look, as I'm looking at you, I'm hearing that you love romance. You are a farmer. Is there any chance you're looking for a wife?
Good question.
Because there's a TV show that I could hook you up with. I don't know, I haven't asked about your personal life, but what do you reckon? What is anything you can share?
I would love a partner. I think probably being a father is probably the only thing I want to be more than an author in my life, to be fair. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if TV show is a place to just find
but
it.
you've heard of the TV show Farmer Wants a Wife, surely?
Yeah.
But
well, technically, I'm not a farmer. I'm not a farmer technically. I contract in agriculture with machinery, so I don't really qualify.
Oh, mate, you got a denim shirt. You're sitting in a tractor.
You're right. Yeah. But listen, if you don't want to do Farmer Wants a Wife, Channel 7, we're doing another show called Author Wants a Kid. So we're doing stuff, mate. We're working on stuff for you. Now, before we let you go, if you could have anyone read your upcoming series, who would that be?
Oh, that's a great question. I think probably my grandfather, who's passed away, but my grandfather was always like one of my biggest supporters, and he never ever got to see this side of me or this come to fruition. So I think if there was anybody alive or dead, I suppose you could read it, I wanted to be my grandfather.
Oh, that's a beautiful answer. Have you ever done a TV interview before?
Yeah, I've done a couple of them.
Oh, because you're very good at them.
And mate, here's the bonus when your book series gets turned into movies. Chris Hemsworth. Locked. Good to see you, mate.
I'm not so sure about that, but...
Well, one of the other Hemsworth. It doesn't matter, there's plenty. Hey, good to see you. This is a wonderful chat. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
wow.
How good.